There could be other people on the phone. From what I understand, we can't see people on the phone. So we are live and on the air. Welcome, everyone. And I think I'm going to mute everybody except for Charlie. So let's try this. Hold on, I can't do that yet.
Welcome to GoToMeeting. There are 7 other callers on the call.
Can everybody hear okay?
Unmuted.
Can everybody hear okay?
I think we're good now. Charlie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Excelente. All right. Well, I can see the screen that I'm broadcasting from, and I know that we're showing that, and I know that we're recording. And I was just listening to one of Matt's webinars this morning, and it's always an important thing to start off by asking to do a sound check, make sure everybody can hear, make sure everybody can see your screen. I was watching a webinar last night. I don't know if anybody saw Chris Blair's webinar on the SPY tool, which is pretty cool. It's definitely something that we should have access to. It turns out it's only already off on a tangent, but just if you haven't seen it, it's $29 a month, I think. And I think if we just had it for a week and we just did what we need to do, we could, we could decide if we need to keep it for any longer than that. But anyway, for those of you who didn't understand that, not important. But Chris was hosting a webinar he was doing a Google Hangout, and he had his video camera on, and his face was like so close to the video that you could only see part of his face, like from his forehead down to his mouth. And he didn't know that we could see him. He thought that we were seeing his screen. So he's like, asking everybody, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? And we're just seeing his face really close up. So doing that check before you get things too far along. And you know how technology hates us, so we certainly have to make sure we're looking at all of those issues. So I will start by saying that we've got a great group of people here out of our total team of 25. There may be people here on the phone, but those who are here that we know are here are the esteemed Charlie Harmon from Oregon, actually from South Carolina, but now in Oregon. We have Bojan from Vancouver, British Columbia. Cindy Martini from South Carolina. Deborah Robertson from Georgia. Eileen Chen from Toronto. Alina Starr from Toronto, kind of. And me, Rob Tepper, here in San Diego, California. So start out by saying team meeting number ? Because I think it's like, we've had these all hands meetings like this one is, and I think this is about the 6th one, but I don't know. So for now, we'll keep that as a question mark. But aside from the team meetings, everybody here, everybody out of these 8 of us that are here for sure, has been in many different meetings, go-to-meetings, impromptu meetings, what we called our, having our office, having our virtual office with all of us hanging out together. We've had enough of those. So, but I'm just talking about these all hands meetings. I think this is like the 6th or 7th. So, before we start on this agenda, actually, the screen is frozen. So I wasn't even, I was highlighting this question mark, but you didn't see me highlighting it. But now you see. So, and here's the agenda. But before we get to the agenda, I wanted to just make sure that everybody knows that there is a summary report that I put together over the last couple of days, and I put the link to it on Facebook and on Skype for everybody to be able to, no, actually I didn't put the link on Skype. I just told everybody on Skype that it was on Facebook. So let's see. Let's see my page. Why is it not changing? There we go. All right, so somewhere over here, this link will take you to the status report. Click on that link, and it's a shared document with status set to anybody that has the link and can read it. So most of you haven't liked that comment, which means that you probably haven't even seen this document, but it is worth seeing, and I would appreciate if everybody would take a couple minutes and take a look at it. Actually, I'll just show you it's not very long, and it's pretty much top level. If anybody wants more detail about anything, happy to talk about it, happy to share it. But this was kind of top level, and then I also sent emails individually to everyone today who is participating or who did participate in the co-op over the past 45 days. So if any of you did not get that email, check your spam. Let me know if it went into your spam. If you didn't get it, if you can't find it, make sure you know how to search your email. You know that little box at the top of your email? It's just like a Google search bar. Whether it's Yahoo or Gmail that you use, just put my name in there, put Tepper in there. You can, it's actually just the same. I think probably everybody here knows this, but maybe somebody that hears this webinar in the future. I was just talking to somebody yesterday who did not know this. She was just so grateful, and it's amazing, these little tricks that we start to take for granted because we do them every day. There's a lot of people out there that haven't been doing it every day, and so you're already way ahead of them. But if you didn't realize that you could search your email that way, you can. And it may not search your spam. So when I'm not sure about that setting, but what you could do then is just go into your spam and you can search your spam too. So I'm sure that I sent it to everybody. So please check, and if you didn't get it, let me know. All right, let's get back to our agenda. So in thinking about what's next, that's really what this agenda is about, and then we'll open it up, and certainly at any time just put questions or let us know you want to speak, and we'll add you in. But these are all topics, and I may have left some things out, but I think this is most of it. Let me just take a drink of water here. So getting the best ROI on our clicks, this whole community that we're now creating started out with a simple premise that we believe that we could do way better for our dollar than other co-ops were offering. But regardless, we would do it in a little bit different way of basically being completely transparent about it and then documenting it. But for me, the fact that I was a solo ad provider and I know the cost of clicks, and I actually, for those of you who haven't heard before, in August, between the middle of August and the beginning of September, in 3 weeks, I delivered 65,000 clicks. Turns out they were for Empower. So, if anything is hard to sell, it's Empower. And these days, just because, well, those days, it's gotten a little different and better in some ways now. But, in August, there was a contest going on. And so one of the leaders needed a lot of clicks. And I was actually a subcontractor kind of to somebody who had committed to providing a lot of clicks. So I just knew the price of clicks, and I knew also enough about the big CPA networks that I just didn't believe that it's necessarily any better. And for those of you who saw the webinar, that's the whole premise of this David versus Goliath. So we've actually got some results already. We certainly have some front-end results. And what's interesting for those of you who have been buying clicks from the other providers out there, for MOBE at this point, I know that, of course, there is the we sell good traffic, and there's good people involved with making that work. And then Ken Faminoff, I'm not sure how formal his is or if it's going to be a continuing thing, but what I've seen in both of these groups is that there's great success stories occasionally, and then there's a lot of people that are not happy for the moment. But this is not a business that is a 30-day deal, and so I think that what I know so far is that our front-end conversions have been poor, but if we look at it as a 90-day cycle, there's still a huge opportunity. Nonetheless, we're starting our next cycle now, and our goal, more than anything else, for the co-op, for the David versus Goliath co-op, for the sustainability of this entire, well, now the community has become, it's starting to become something that goes well beyond the co-op. But the foundation, the nucleus, and the whole premise of this is to be able to get great results by working together and by being able to get the leverage of having a budget to work with, and the knowledge and the experience with different providers, and just if anybody can do that, a team can do it better than an individual, and we as a team can do it better than most teams already, and we're just 45 days old. So from that regard, we've gotten a lot out of it. But still, people have to remain interested in participating in the co-op in order for this to make sense, because what we'd really like to do is even to scale it up and be trying more and different things. So if you look at David versus Goliath, what this is all about is solo ads, for the most part, have been the mainstay, the primary way that the different co-ops have been getting clicks and buyers. So that is what everybody's expecting and what you came into the co-op for, what the people that are participating came in for. But we want to be creative, and we can be more and more creative, and we've got at least a half a dozen people, probably 10 people out of the 25 that are very interested in doing a bunch of different creative things that would allow us to be, just a much more, we would have more to offer to others. We would be able to continually increase our skill set. But at the end of the day, if the goal is growing MOBE and exclusively growing MOBE, then all we need to do is focus on getting the best ROI on our investment. And seeing a lot of people give up and quit easily and run out of money easily and quickly, we have to find ways through our community, to keep people in the game long enough, and also maybe to discourage people from even getting in the game that don't have the means to be able to survive. And then I think it's maybe up to us to make sure that the mindset part of it gets instilled through JT or through MOBE in general, so that people realize that between events, between the high points when everybody's excited and the time when their traffic isn't converting, it's easy to start to get discouraged. And I've heard it from a bunch of people, how the people that they have gotten in are excited for a few days and then they don't do anything. So as a community, one of our strengths can be to bring all of our affiliates that are under us, that we have in our back office, into this community, and then to actually make the community engaged and involved and participating in these items. Everything that we're talking about, those 4 check marks on the top, the solo ads, Facebook, media buying, creation of info products, we'd love to involve and empower everybody in the community to do all of those things on their own, with or without MOBE. But at the same time, as our best interest and our vested interest, and as a team, as the MOBE brain trust this group of 25, or in particular the people that are participating in the co-op, we are a little bit singularly focused on making sure that the co-op is being most successful. And right now, we're not able to scale up with Facebook ads yet, but I think we're getting close. And I do know that it works. If you guys haven't seen Matt Dreyer's presentation from the Titanium Mastermind, or you need a refresher, he's the one to look at. And media buying, huge opportunity. Regina, I haven't been in touch with. Bruce Saline is very interested. Several others are interested. It's one of the more creative areas, and I would love to be doing a lot with it. I know that Navjot has gotten quiet. I'm not sure where he is. I'll have to follow up with him, but he's very interested in the media buying stuff. So I think we've got critical mass to do that. And on the info products as well, that's something I talked about at the beginning in the webinar of being able to do an info product after 90 days. Now it's already been 45 days. So if we're going to be doing something 45 days from now, we need to start talking about it. So with that said, let's I've already been talking for 25 minutes, so let me open up the floor for you guys, and everything that is on my mind that we can work on together is right here in front of you. So I'd like to hear from some of you what direction you think we should go, and if there's anything else that we should be talking about here.
I'll address the status of our Facebook ads right now, if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay. We've been doing quite a bit of. I'm getting a lot of feedback here. Let me see if I can get rid of that. Anyway, we've been working with Rob on what works and what doesn't work and what Facebook is accepting, and it's kind of a little bit frustrating because of the fact that one of the ads that we had approved is going fine, and you have not taken that off or paused that ad yet, have you, Rob? But anyway, we had one ad that was approved.
No, I can actually show it. Well, sorry, I'll mute myself again, but I'll show it while you're talking.
Okay, and we put some other ads in that had the same ad copy, but just with different videos behind them, and they were rejected. So we're working on finding out what exactly went wrong there and trying to get it straightened out. And we don't think it's the ad copy, although it could be, but the ad that was running had some interesting statistics to it, and break in any time if you want to explain those, Rob. But so what we're doing is we're coming up with the ads that we think will work, and one of the things that we found out is that the ads with the moving video background behind it, which is not being used by a lot of people at all, but it's highly successful in its conversion rates and its click rates. So we're going to pursue that first of all, and then try to get those out there once we tweak the copy to where it's accepted by Facebook. And then we're going to split test those with a couple of different videos behind it and a couple of different static images also in front, and let you know how that works. And we're just about to get those done. We did a couple of videos today. We think they're pretty good. They're in the editing process right now. We're looking to get either Fiverr or somebody else to come in and do some make a video for us and give us a professional looking type thing, video, and they're wanting to charge us nickel and dime here and there. One of them wanted to charge us, Fiverr's famous for $5 ads, but then they want $20 if they put on a hat and call it a costume. And at Christmas, we were looking to get somebody with a Santa Claus hat, and they wanted an extra $20. And then we talked to one today who we thought that we were doing the stay-at-home moms, which is the one you're looking at right now on the screen. And we wanted somebody to do a video on that holding a baby so that it would kind of tie into this ad that you're looking at. and she wanted an extra $20 for holding the baby. Well, I have been nickel and dime to death before. Now, $20 is not a lot of money, especially if it works, but we don't know if it's going to work yet, and we don't feel that that's exactly kosher for them to do that. So what we're doing is we're contacting some members of our own Brain Trust community and seeing if they'll do it, because we think we have enough talent right here to make great videos, but we will still remain open to using fiber for comparison and split testing if need be. But we're getting really close to having some things. We'll post those on the Google Drive, and they will be available to everybody to use, and hopefully we'll have everything we need done here in the next day or two. So you can grab a couple of those, start using them on your own, or however you see fit. And if you have any suggestions, by all means, please get in touch with either me or Cindy, and we'll try to handle most of the details of it and then report back to Rob, so he won't be having to take everything onto his shoulders. We'll try to take a little bit more responsibility now that we're becoming more expert at it. Let's just put it that way. That's it.
All right, thank you. I know Bruce Celine just arrived, and you're muted for now, but if you'd like to talk about the issue that you and I have been going back and forth on, we can do that. But so far, if you can see the screen, that's basically what we've been chatting about for the last 15 minutes or so, and I just opened up the floor to everybody to input any suggestions, thoughts, ideas about any of this before I continue to hog up the floor. So who's next?
Lylene is asking what am I trying to accomplish, and we're basically what we're trying to do, and jump in here, Cindy, if you want to, but we're trying to match up the background video ads with the landing page so that they tie together, and then we're only going to change one aspect of that particular ad at a time, so that we can know what, when we split test, what is actually working. And that's basically what we're trying to do right now. And if you're asking what we're trying to do with that particular ad, is we were looking to get somebody that would hold a baby or a child that would tie into the stay-at-home mom's video background with our text overlaying that. So are you a stay-at-home mom, Eileen?
No, Eileen's not a mom yet. So
yeah, I don't think so.
I'm not sure if you were asking about, what we're having trouble with getting the ads accepted, but yeah, the idea is we're having the most success in, if you look at the clicks on the ads that are targeted to stay-at-home moms, it's the 30 to 40-year-old demographic, which makes sense. So we were thinking, or Cindy brought up the other day, that it'd be nice if we had somebody in that age range available, but we didn't come up with anybody in our Brain Trust, so she went on to Fiverr to find somebody, and that's what this is all about. But as far as getting Facebook ads accepted, if anybody has figured it out, I know there are people that have figured it out. I figured out a few things. I figured out most of it. The only thing I haven't figured out is what it is exactly that they don't accept and how much information you have to give. If we have to do a video on every squeeze page, that's fine. I just need to know that. But it's interesting that it's inconsistent, and that's been.
It is, yeah.
And I think it's just because we're still novices. People that know what they're doing don't ever have this issue, but there is something that we're just not quite getting yet. And as soon as we do, we'll be in good shape because we know how to do the scheduling. then we may want to do more automation, as we've talked about since the beginning. First, we have to get it down to, a step-by-step process, and then we can start to talk about outsourcing.
Eileen wants to be unmuted.
1 second. Okay.
Hi. Okay. So for the landing page with the background that runs, I think the best things that you can do is to, when you go to Fiverr, don't pick the gigs that have post-production in it. Just do a simple, just say that you want to do an introduction. So intros are usually 5 seconds to 10 seconds, and they loop. And then go to YouTube, go to AOL, and go find stock videos that's commercially acceptable, and then just search for the things that you wanted, and then grab that, download that section, download the parts that you want, cut it out, and then send the clips, including, whatever sound effect and anything like that, and just order a gig on Fiverr, tell the person you want to make this into an introduction, and let them know you want it to loop as a whole, as in, when you start from the first second to, let's say, for example, the loop is 10 seconds. You want it to, have no pauses in between. You want to make it seem like as if you just look at that video over and over again, you will see it sync with each other, back to back kind of thing.
You're talking about a background video, but we're talking about a video that basically it tells people why they want to fill out the squeeze page.
No, yeah, I know.
So you're saying 10 seconds just starts over?
No, don't. What I'm trying to say is, when you order gigs like this, like, if you want something done, don't go after exactly what it is.
Well, in this case, just to clarify, I know a little bit about it. So that they found somebody who advertises $5 for a 10-second intro video, and by the time Cindy and Charlie finished speccing what they wanted with this woman, it was up to $60. And so.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, the stuff that you want, you just grab it all together and give it to that person. That's going to cost you $5, right? And then you go to another guy and let them know the extra stuff that you need. It's also going to cost you $5.
No, but what extra stuff? We're just, I think we're just talking about somebody who is just giving a testimonial for 15 seconds, 30 seconds, minute and a half.
How would you, wait, why would somebody stay on the landing page for that long? Because remember, the original format default was that traffic thing that loops over and over again in the background.
No, you're talking about different. I'm talking about a video, not a background.
Yes?
I'm talking about a video where you come on the page and say, "Hi, I'm Rob Tepper, and I'm a work-at-home dad. And, I found my way, and you can find yours. You just need to take a look at this 10-minute video that will explain to you all the details, and once you know all the details, then you will know why you need to come along and participate, blah, blah, blah." I'm just, it's really something that in general would be done by somebody who is branding themselves. Not just as an actor sending people to a squeeze page, but that's kind of what we were talking about. An actor sending somebody to a squeeze page, sending somebody to see Matt's video. So the Facebook will accept it because Facebook doesn't like something. If you give enough information, they're okay with it. So I want a video to give enough information that they would be okay with it. That's the idea. But maybe that's not necessary. That's what I need to understand.
Oh, okay. So my second point was, okay, we have Lisa's webinar, we have David's webinar. Why would you send someone directly to My Top Tier Business instead of just sending them to those webinars and get them to opt them to the list? Because I haven't been having any trouble getting any Facebook ads approved because I have an ebook to give out for free.
Yeah, so exactly, that's the point. It's the question of what is the offer. So you're giving out an ebook for free, and that's a completely different offer than what we're talking about. And then your ad needs to be somewhat consistent with that. And we can do that. So if you're giving something away,
what I'm saying is, My Top Tier Biz, like any biz off stuff, is gonna be extremely difficult for you to promote directly. It does work every now and then, depending on how your how your copy is.
Well, I think that's
now we know
exactly.
that events work a lot better than just like a link for people to buy $49 coaching. So why would you send them directly to My Top Tier Business? That's what I want to know.
Because, well, I'll just show you an example, and that's what Matt Dreyer did very successfully, and it definitely is a strategy that works. So here's an ad that is running right now, and we'll view it. And this ad got approved, and ever since this ad, I can't get an ad approved that is remotely anything like it. I can't even get. So this is not talking about My Top Tier Business exactly. Spending enough time with your kids. We both know that the best way to buy time is to have more money. Sad to say. So then, hang in there, kiddo. Mommy's going to stop and play soon. You can change all that if you want to. You hold the key to your own future, right? Guaranteed system, along with lifetime supply of inspiration and motivation. So you click on here, and it takes you to this page. And they won't approve this page anymore, but I'm not sure if it's this page that they won't approve or if it's something else. This is the video background. You're familiar with what meeting does. 10-second loop. By the way, if anybody wants to use it. Okay, so this ad is approved, and this is the ad that's gotten all these clicks that I just showed you. And so I've been trying to get other ads like this. We have a Christmas ad. We have a really cool ad that would be good for Clinton's page. I mean, there's all different reasons and all different ways to promote, but so that may or may not be an acceptable answer to you, but you're right. Giving away stuff, giving away an ebook is a great way to get around it, giving away value and not having anything about the home business opportunity. That is certainly one answer that works. Exactly, Matt. Yeah, that's what I said, Deborah. Same thing. So yeah, it can be done. It just has to be targeted properly. So it's already 45 minutes into the meeting. It's been very general so far. Deborah, I know you may have to leave in a few minutes. Would you like to say a few words? What I want to figure out what's the best way to go forward, knowing that these are all the things that we want to pursue. And we do have the resources to do it. We have had people step forward and say that they would lead various things. So, Deborah, let's see, you are self-muted. Now you're unmuted.
Yeah. I'm not having to leave early. There's not going to be a webinar tonight.
Okay. So what do you think about what you see on the screen and what we should be doing to go forward?
I mean, you're just trying to get ads approved and trying to figure that out. I'm thinking about Matt Dreyer's his ad, and it was all about My Top Tier Business and the 21-step system, and he had no problem with getting that approved.
Yeah, I'd like to see that ad. I definitely think that would be helpful. And if anybody knows, and I love what you're saying too, Eileen. There's definitely a lot of different ways to go, and that's something that, as a community, if we can just show people, you get a few different choices. But we don't understand I mean, you said it in your response just a minute ago, Eileen, is that it seems to be hit or miss, and I don't think that that's really true, but maybe. I think there is there is something specific that will make it work every time, but I think the hit and miss part is like this ad that I just showed you. I think that will almost always get disapproved, and I'm never going to stop it until I have some better ones going, because like I say, I've been trying to do things like it, and they're not accepting them, and I don't understand that. So.
Well, one thing that I think about Dreyer's stuff is that because, when he, and I've seen Matt, the other Matt, Lloyd, Matt, okay, I'm confusing myself. Yeah, when my top tier business first came out, Matt Lloyd also put an extreme make money online type of ads, and it ran for like a month and a half. Directly to my top tier business landing page. Matt Dreyer joined, I think, in like June or July. So when my top tier business first kicked out, there were people who just went with it and just used the ad according to the landing page, and then drove them directly to my top tier business landing page. And
Which landing page?
The original.
Not the survey page will never get accepted by Facebook, will it?
It has been. I've seen it. The one with the check, the one with the wording, and so those pages were the ones that got accepted. But now, why I'm saying to not promote directly to my top tier business is the fact that it's been out for almost half a year, and there have been people who's been doing that constantly. And so, Facebook is obviously going to be aware with that, just like they have been with Empower. And I don't ever want to get to the point where Facebook kicks us off. What's it called? Facebook kicks us completely out. So, I don't know if
absolutely, definitely. That's why I'm trying to understand. I don't even want to do anything renegade underhand. I just want to know how to do it right. The idea of an ebook absolutely works. If John wants to give all of us, we might give him an honorary membership into our brain trust if he lets us all.
He won't do it unless you're a member under him. Because it's not just an ebook, it's an entire membership attached to it, including the copywritten email funnel and things like that. But most importantly, what I'm trying to say is that even though stuff have worked in the past, recently it hasn't been working. That's why I'm saying, because I have also tried to get Facebook ads approved, directly using the what's the landing page? It's something like get 1,000, 3,000, 5,000 commissions without ever picking up the phone. That ad, and it hasn't been approved. That's why I chose to go with the other stuff where like now I'm editing the webinar from last week to get people to watch that webinar, and then the ebooks, and then in fact any events and any case study, anything that you've learned, you can turn into that. You can turn that into a piece of information that's going to be very valuable to other people. We can even use the case studies, online marketing versus offline marketing for internet marketers, anything like that. But
so I agree. I mean, that's definitely one of the ideas, is that in 90 days that we as a brain trust will create an info product. That'll be something that we can use to attract people. Right now we've got the community, and didn't mention the community specifically on here, but did mention, associate and affiliate programs, and I think everything, the website, the webinars, all of that is intended for the community. So, yeah, no question that have anything that we're doing, the goal is for us to all be learning from it, and to, if we have something new to add that is not already out there that's obvious, then the goal would be to create one or more info products as a team. So that's something that needs to get started on. So since it's already 50 minutes into the meeting, let's talk about how we go forward with all of this stuff. Did I miss update on CPA? Yeah, why don't I unmute Bruce and let you say a few words about that. Bruce, you're on the air.
Yep. I'm not sure I really have much to say other than I feel like we've been jerked around, and this gal that we were the only person we were able to talk to there is either incompetent or just playing games, because after playing phone tag and Skype tag and stuff with her, we finally actually talked today, and she said that she thought that we were interested in cost per click, not cost per action, CPA, CPC versus CPA. And I told her that, I've been asking about the same offer every single time that I've written, that I've talked, and she just said that they have their own offer running, and so they don't want competition with it. And supposedly, she said they're not making any money on it. And I said, well, let's up the ante. We'll pay you something so that you can make money on the deal. And I have the sense that they're either they don't want to alienate whoever is already running an offer, or if in fact it's their in-house offer, they don't want to share the traffic with anybody. So it's just been a total waste of time for several weeks as we've waltzed around this thing, and finally just realized that they're not going to do it. So, and I think Rob had a similar conclusion after talking to Dagan. And that's about all I can say that doesn't involve four-letter words. So.
Yeah, so I was kind of waiting until Amber finally got back to Bruce, and she seemed to drop the ball, so I sent a message directly to Dagan and basically heard back kind of around the same time that Bruce was talking to Amber. But what I've realized, and now Bruce has confirmed, is that Amber doesn't really have any authority to make any decisions, and she and in this case, she didn't even get it until way too late, because this could have been resolved a long time ago. So when I finally presented the issue to Dagan, he said that at $50 per sale, actually he said at $100 per sale, it's not that interesting to the solo ad providers, because from their testing, and he said that they're testing it. They're testing this offer in-house, and I'm not sure who they're testing it for. I know that Dagan is not platinum, so he could be testing it for Matt, who is certainly his buddy, and and Dagan is Matt's coach, or was up to a point, and they still have a lot of respect for each other. So he could be testing it for him. He could be testing it for somebody else, for his friend Mac, who was interviewed and featured in Dagan's materials several months back. So that, my speculation is one of those two. But anyway, what Dagan definitely is the king of testing everything, and what he made it sound like was at $100, the solo ad vendors are making less than 40 cents a click, and so it's not really that exciting for them. So he thought that $200 would be a better price. And I said, I don't think $200 is going to be very interesting, but and I don't know if 200. I think that, well, it's not clear to me if the 200 would even include the agency fee. But let's say that it did, then it's just double what we were thinking, or almost double what we were thinking. Still probably not too bad, 200 for guaranteed sales compared to what we've gotten so far. But I don't know what comes with that either. So if is anybody here interested in 200 per, or you don't have to even let me know now, but 200 per, and this would be done with some testing. And it's negotiable, but what Dagan seemed to be saying is that he's got this network where these people, where solo ad providers can choose to run solos for whatever offers that they want, and he pays 40 cents, sometimes 45 cents, sometimes even more, or the different advertisers on his network pay, and they can choose how much to pay, and people will advertise where they're getting the best ROI. So he's saying that from the testing that the ROI is, for solo ad vendors has been low with a $100 number, and he suggested 200. So if you're interested in 200, again, if it's a 20% agency fee on top of that, it's 240. We could probably do some good-sized tests, and actually, I'm sure that you'd be able to get we'd be able to make that happen in the month of December if you're interested. And if we have enough, we'll have to have enough volume for him to do it. I'd say if we could do a test for $5,000, at that price, then we could probably get in the door, and we could potentially just ramp it up. I don't know. I didn't even want to go any further with him until after Bruce and Amber spoke, and also until we knew if there was any interest among all of you for that kind of a price tag. And I don't know any other CPA networks right now that are willing to sell buyers. I think I told you all in the past that Solo Ads Agency, we got our clicks from this past month, they tried it. And by the way, they're in MOBE, and they're doing very well, but they still have found that selling buyers is a risky thing to do. If they're not doing it, and Dagan is still testing it, we're not going to find too many people out there that are doing it at a volume that would make it work for us. But we can certainly try and go out to do some more searching. All right, nice to have you back, Deborah. All right, anything else? It's already been an hour, and who did I say is doing it? The only people that are doing, I said that our last month's Goliath clicks were from Solo Ads Agency, which is Shakir's agency, and I said that they did it in the past, but they were not successful with selling subscribers, so they discontinued it. So I said I don't know anybody else doing it. So with all of this on here, let's just talk about these things briefly and figure out the next steps. With solo ads, I will work with Bruce and with Sam, who's not here right now, and with the other folks that have their name on the list to be on the solo ad team. And over the next couple of days, we'll make the decisions after we see how much money that we have and see if everybody's in the co-op. By the way, we might open up a couple of spots in the co-op because there's at least one person who who I've been counting on, who has not committed yet. So he didn't put money in last month, so we have some room in the 30K. If anybody would like to add somebody who's an affiliate to you, that would be the best thing. So with the solo ads, I don't think we're going to do the CPA, buying subscribers, buying buyers this month, unless some miracle happens, or if you do want to do the 200 to possibly 240 per buyer, then let me know ASAP. I'm not inclined to do that this month. Facebook ads, we've made some, we talked about a lot, and Charlie is responsible. He's doing good things. Cindy's been very much involved. Peter's actually working on Facebook ads. I don't think he's at this meeting, but Lena and a bunch of us. And so far, my price per sale on Facebook ads has been less than $100 per buyer. So if I could scale that up, that would be good. And that's where the economics comes in. Remember, there's 3 parts to this game. There's traffic, conversion, and economics. And the economics part is just scaling up once you find something that works. So I think Facebook to me is huge. But then there's media buying, which makes Facebook look like just a little drop in the pond. Media buying is potentially, well, can we get way more ROI? I'm not sure. I know that we can get clicks cheaper. We can get clicks, cheaper for mobile. There's a lot of creative things that can be done to get cheaper clicks. But to us, it's not even about cheaper clicks. It's about ROI. It's about finding the right target market and getting in front of them. And I think all of us would agree we'd be happy to pay a premium to do that rather than getting penny clicks. So with media buying, again, it's a strategy. Can we find the media where our customers are already hanging out just looking for what we've got to offer? That could be huge. And then figuring out how to make that little ad on the page catch their attention, and doing all the right things. There's a great opportunity there. And I know that Bruce is either about to or has just invested in a course, and as I mentioned, Regina has some knowledge, and there's a lot of us that are interested in doing more of that. So on the media buying side, Regina is officially the leader, but I need to touch base with her and see. For me, I'm going to defocus on media buying for the month of December. If anybody wants to lead that and is ready to start spending money in it, then I'm happy to support you, and I'm sure we can find others that would. But right now we're going to do the solo ads and the Facebook ads. Then on the creation of info products, we're kind of doing the pieces. Eileen mentioned, that the content from these 2 webinars is a great start, but I think probably in the next week we should talk about, for those who are interested, we can have kind of an organizational meeting and talk about an info product so that we can actually make sure that we're doing the right things and getting the right collateral together as we go, so that we don't lose. I guess these days with information we don't lose too much anyway, but maybe we're documenting things in a way that we might not otherwise if we don't talk about it. So so we'll say that there will be more to come on that bullet point. And then webinars, we need probably spend another hour just talking about webinars and what we can do with them, and that's probably a topic for the whole meeting. So maybe we'll skip that for a second and come back to it. Website, a lot of ideas, but so far I haven't collaborated with anybody on the website. I think that it's important for us to have something together. I'd really love to have it together by the time of the Supercharged seminar. So as we've talked about coming out of that event, that's another compelling reason that people will join us. Those who are already affiliates under us would have certain benefits, and people that just want to be part of us and have access to all the information can participate in other ways, and all that will be tied together through the website. The one important piece, the technical piece that has been created by Bojan, thank you Bojan, is a tool that allows you or anybody to extract, basically you can take all of your ad channels and you can, at any point in time, you extract a CSV file from your back office, and then this tool will parse that into a different file for every ad channel, which allows you to be able to support affiliates. And that was the idea, is that people who are affiliates who are sending clicks to you, if you're a platinum and you're giving people some benefit to go through you and be your affiliate rather than sending their clicks to MOBE. And the bonus number 3 from my original webinar is this whole ability. And the idea is you don't want people to have to go into your back office, and yet you want to be totally transparent. So we do have that, and I've already provided those files to a bunch of people, and that file will easily be able to be imported into our affiliate back office. So the idea of the affiliate back office is, people that get in that are potentially, you could have people that are your affiliates that aren't even in MOBE at the $49 level, in which case you'd want to give them access to all of the promotional materials, the banners, and the collateral materials that they would need to promote MOBE, and you want to give them access to this to their clicks. So those are the 2 essential pieces for affiliates. And then the rest of the website I see more as a place for us to be able to have our member content, to have our webinars posted, to actually be hosting live webinars from the home page. And Deborah has done a lot of groundwork and has come up with an idea that she offered to allow us to use, and I'd love to do that and start a series of webinars that can just be an ongoing thing. But I think for that to happen, that's got to be another group, another brain trust group that will just be specifically responsible for making sure that these webinars happen, and ideally we'll delegate between the 25 of us to be the host and to get a co-host like we've done for the last 2, somebody that has some interesting value to bring to us. That would be a great series to do, and we could even combine that with a podcast. But to do that kind of stuff, we need to have, first of all, the interest in this group to do it, at least 3 or 4 people, so that it doesn't all fall on one person. And then we can make it happen. Nothing should stop us, because there's really almost no cost to doing any of that besides time. And if we are going to spend our valuable time, we want to do it wisely. We want to really be starting with the end in mind. Why are we doing it? How are we promoting it to achieve our end goal? And let's make sure that any time invested is well rewarded by getting the 25 of us at least involved in promoting and participating to the extent we can. So I guess coming out of this, what I'll do is we'll put a little survey together, and we'll get people to sign up to be part of a team that will make sure that these webinars happen, and people that want to participate in putting together the ideas for the website. As far as implementation, chances are, we'll outsource it. Liz has put together a proposal, the woman who presented to us, a very good price, and I'm tempted to just go ahead with that. But before I do anything, I want to get the right people on our core team together to participate. So coming out of this, I will ask through a survey for you folks, for anybody who's interested, to sign up, and then we'll have little subgroups to work out the details on these things instead of keeping everybody here for that. Promoting and attending events. Rob Harris, my buddy in New York, has taken responsibility for this, but up until now he has not gotten too involved. So we have to fix that, but I definitely think that that's an area where that a team like us can have a lot of influence and a lot of success in getting people to events more than an individual could. And these 2 webinars that we had is a good foundation. I don't know how influential they'll be in getting people to supercharge, but that's what this, I think, webinar group can talk about next after we assemble the people to do that. And we'll have that meeting on the webinars in the next 48 hours after we have, the right people assembled for that. But regardless of whether it becomes a successful tool for supercharge as we had intended, it's definitely the foundation for something that will get people to follow us and come to these events in the future if we keep it up. And that's a big part of this whole game, is just continuing to add value and to have and to make forward progress, just to keep moving forward, just to not stop, not to give up. So I think we're off to a great start with the webinars, and I am so grateful to everybody for being there, in particular to Eileen for all the work she put in, and to Deborah for all the work that she put in on the 2 that we've had so far. Anybody who would like to lead the next webinar, we're always looking for leaders. So with that, it's already an hour and 15 minutes into the meeting. So let me just open it up again to any comments, questions, ideas from all of you, and then we'll end the formal meeting. Anybody there?
Great job. I think we stayed on point, and we got some good action items to pursue in the next couple of days.
Okay. I think we put everybody else to sleep, but that's okay. I understand. I won't be offended. I'll assume that maybe you're there. But I'm glad that you're still there, Charlie. And yeah,
Can't get rid of me.
Oh, good. Cindy's still here. Yeah, I mean, when I started thinking about the agenda for this, I realized that each of these topics could go for quite a while, and the idea is to, at these meetings, to not go into depth, but to talk about where we are all in all, and we're just getting started, 45 days in. I'm so glad that, oh good, now I'm hearing back from Deborah and Boyan, everybody. So we got some people still here, and lots of good things, lots of great things that we can do together. Most of you know that the new MOBE funnel was opened up just about 12 hours ago, and I haven't had a chance to do much with it yet, but having been at the webinar that Matt did about 10 days ago, I know for sure that it's going to have a huge impact, and all of you are going to start having proportionally more success than you're having now. So, and I mean, seriously, if you're having no success, you'll still have no success. Something has to change. But if you're having a little success, you'll have a little more, and I think that we've all got a lot of subscribers to follow up with, and I would encourage you to invite them to our community to come check us out. Yeah, I think people will follow when they see the success, but those of us that were in Cabo know that it works, and the numbers that I've seen from our co-op are pretty similar to what I've seen from others. We just need one big success, and then we'll be like in line with the other two. But in general, it seems pretty much the same. So that being said, I don't think we're necessarily ready to say that this first 45 days or the first month was not successful. Let's wait for the 90 days from the time that the first traffic was sent, and don't forget that follow-up, as I've shared with each of you individually and I'm trying to do myself, following up on your own and letting them know that not only do they have this coach, and people are so grateful for the coach, but the coach has a half an hour per session, and then they've got to move on to their next appointment. So just hearing from you that you're there too, and for those of you who are feeling like you don't know enough to even talk to them, you do. You actually can answer most of the questions that somebody new will have. Like, I can't get into my top tier business. I don't know how many, I've had that conversation with so many people that they can't get into it. And as soon as we put in the, because it's kind of weird because it looks like you're in, but you're not in until you're logged in, and people just don't see that. But it's usually something as simple as that, or just knowing, how to search for the email that has their information. But if it's more complicated than that, and for some reason you actually don't know the answer right then, that's fine too. You just tell them that you'll get back to them. But more important is for them to know that there's somebody there that cares, and that that they're going to get a coach and they're going to get you, and you're going to stick with them even when the coach is done. That goes a long way. So keep on building that relationship with your subscribers. Get them to come to our community. I guess one thing I kind of didn't really mention in here, but is going to be important, is that I'd like to also get several people to volunteer to monitor the community, and then we can just assign times, like just once a day at a certain time, or if we have enough people, it could be once every other day. But the goal would be to make sure that there's value, and that people that are posting are actually getting responded to, so that they feel like there's life in the community. Because I've seen a lot of Facebook communities, including one that I have a community with about 200 people I could bring right on over, List Building Secrets Mastermind. I just know that you can. I have almost 200 people waiting to get into that community that I haven't let in because I haven't been monitoring the community. So all of those people could be potential MOBE prospects. That was my previous life. Some of you probably have groups like that too. So the point is, we've got this community, but it's not going to survive if we just like comments every now and then, and we're not adding value. So that's one more thing that I'll follow up with on the survey. We'll get people to take responsibility for all of these things, and I look forward to it. Any parting words from anyone? Charlie, I'll let you say the final word. Charlie self-muted.
There I am. I'm unmuted now. Thank you again, Rob. I think this was just a great get-together, and it keeps us on point. And we did have that little break through the holidays, but it's now time to get back and start rock and rolling again. And we intend to do, and I'm going to try to be a little bit more upfront with getting all of my findings on the Facebook ads, either on the Google Drive, or at least letting everybody know the status reports so that they can give me feedback on that. And I'm going to be calling Eileen and seeing if I can pick her brain a little bit, and Clinton, and seeing what we can find out there, and maybe that'll help us figure out why our Facebook ads aren't working. So anyway, we'll keep you posted on that. Thank you. Wonderful job.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's good. It reminded me that I mentioned in the status report yesterday that we're doing some good stuff on our YouTube channel, and there's a rotator built in there, and that's going to be very, very powerful. So right now, 49 out of 75 videos on there have the annotation done, thanks to Clinton for getting it set up, and for Fabiana, and I spent a bunch of time on it also. It's going to be a place where we can send people with a squeeze page that's going to be very powerful. So I'm looking forward to that. In fact, if any of you have any videos of yourselves that you would like to have on that YouTube channel, let's put them there. We'll make sure that we put the videos of the 25 of us at the beginning. And let's see, I think there was something else. Oh, I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that there's 10 people here that I know of, and then there might be others on the phone. So out of 25, having 10 people here is great, and I'm very, very happy, because actually I know some of the people that aren't here are still very much involved. So Charlie, thank you for being here, and Boyan, Bruce, Cindy, Deborah, Eileen, Alina, Jeff, and oh, Jeff showed up. Jeff actually was out with his grandkids for his final day in the U.S., but he actually made it before we ended. So thank you, everybody, for being here, and I look forward to the next 30 days, and happy holidays to everybody. Happy beginning of the holidays, and let's have a great holiday together. I appreciate all of you, and with that, I'm going to stop the recording. Good night, everybody.